All right, let's get this party going. Check if this mic is on. Yes, it is. Let's get this party going. Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here in our Saturday Sambafying Sessions, number 21 now, which is great. Wow, we have been doing for a bit now, huh? Beautiful day here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. I hope you guys are having a great start of the weekend. And today we finally got into one of my favorite songs to play. And I don't know why I haven't played this one before for you guys. Antonio Carlos Jobim, Newton Mendonça, One Note Samba. I haven't been playing that for a while, and there is a bunch of tricks for us to talk about this one. So happy to have you all here. I know more people are coming and joining our stream. So if you're there, make sure to send hi, and let's get this party going. One Note Samba, I'll try to be really on the point today because I have to be like 1 hour sharp, probably have so much to do here. But I definitely wanted to come here and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Let's take a look at the song, the One Note Samba that you might have seen as far as charts from the real book. It's in B flat. And I'm not a fan of that key, man. It's the saxophone keys, man. The saxophone keys. I'm sorry. This is a guitar thing. Hey, Mark. Great seeing you here, brother. It's a guitar world, my friends. This song, I don't like it in B flat. So right away, I'm already not only playing, not even covering the B flat. I don't like playing that key. I like to play in Antonio Carlos Jobim key, which is G major. It's a great guitar key, and that's where we're going to take a look, including the chart. A proper chart, I might say. Sorry, a proper chart in G. Not only that, but in 2/4, as it should be, a binary measure, time signature. So let's take a look at the chart real quick, so you get acquainted with the actual chart of this thing. So here's One Note Samba. It's from the Tom Jobim, the Jobim official songbook. As you can see, 2/4, and the proper figures, the proper rhythm. That's why we need this stuff. So let's play that a little bit. So you see that the so-called Brazilian Syncopation Figure, it's all over this place here. In either its full shape with the 16, 8, 16, but also with rest, like a little variation. Rest 16, 8, 16. The very first figure, by the way, the pickup 1 and 2, right, Mark? Here's a figure right there. This one is combined with these 8 and 2 16s, right? Together tied. 8, 2 16s, then 16, 8, 16 connected to a tie. So if I don't play the tie, ta 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 ti di ta, that's the sound. If I connect the tie is pa bi di pa pa. That's sort of the underpinning rhythm of the melody of Southern Samba, the actual correct melody, I might say, because I see people playing this stuff wrong all the time because it's just a real book, B flat. This is the one, people. So please refer to the proper rhythm and harmony and rhythm and chart from the composer himself. And the pa pa di pa da pa di da pa bi di bi di pa 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 di 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 da di da pa bi di pa da pa pa. That's the rhythm. Pa pa di pa da pa di da pa pa da pa 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 di 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 da di da pa da 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 da. Right, that's a little bit different there. Then you have the bridge, a classic. Then whole step down. Then again. And Harmony wise, the original harmony. Then you got the little short and compact version of the part. Note here, a good reminder, that A flat at that part, the first part, is always 7th, is always dominant. Please don't play this chord here, right? It's always dominant, not G, it's G flat. There is a point to play that one in the song, but in the beginning, the first part is always 7th, always diminished, right? Sorry, dominant. Then you got to the bridge. Then go back to the S, blah blah blah. Then the coda. It's also sometimes people don't play that, but they have to play because your being gives us this descending chromatic kind of cool progression. That's our major 7 A flat. It's the only time this thing show up. Right? So that's one note samba. General melody and harmony. Okay, cool, great, awesome. How are we gonna do the thing, right? We're gonna do the thing the way we do the thing every time. We're gonna play the melody, the top layer against the bottom layer. That's the deal. That's the 3-layer system. That's the GS Sambafying system. So 1 and 2. We have the option to kind of make it as a hit, or keep the groove like. Or make it a hit. Right? You can play that with the chords and everything. It would be actually nice too. Then bridge. To that bridge is something you have to work out probably slower, I would say, right? Has to be under your fingers, because I tell you, if you have that down, everything else is so much easier. I'll tell you, it's definitely easier to play. Get out of that chart thing. You already got the song, already got the rhythm. You can get that chart later, and then the Andy. Then the groove going, right? This fundamental quarter note bass, or you want to just kind of do hits, right? At the end or in the whole ending. Oops, sorry. At the ending as a hit, or that whole coda as a whole in a kind of a hit manner. So. That too, that's great. So once you get that going, it's so much easier to have everything. This is one of those prime examples of many things I talk about for now. 21 lives. It's a prime example of 21 lives of chatting and showing stuff. The dance between the bass and the melody here, you gotta spend time with that. The melody of this particular song is very active, as I say, so there's a lot of melody, not a lot of rest, not a lot of long notes. That means, and it's very syncopated, so that figure that I talk about all the time is here, as you saw. When you have those two things together, boy, that's so much easier to do the thing, the Sambafying thing. Because, as I said, the melody carries a lot of the rhythmic information that we need to play this groove. So we don't do much, actually, which would be awesome to play. It will sound kind of intricate and groovy, but the melody just leading the way. I'm just kind of tagging along, right? So if I play that rhythm, that, right? If I put the middle layer now, which should be in this case B minor, I have the 7th A, right? And I have the D 3rd on the chord. So I can do this, right? I can do B flat 7 like this if I want. I always put a little spice in there. In this case, I use the flat 5, right? So then A minor 7 11. So I just fill up the chord with this, and then easy peasy, just move this note here and the bass from here to here to get to my A flat 7 sharp 11. So if I have that thing in the middle, my middle layer is merely reinforcing places of the top melody, because the melody is already carrying information, and the bass keeps foundational, as I keep calling, like quarter notes, and you have the groove and the melody and everything going, man. Check it out. There it is. There it is. There's nothing else you can do. I mean, other stuff, but there's nothing else you need to do in this case here. It sounds like I am playing a groove, right? But the melody is so right, so built into this system that I'm not just playing the melody, man, and the bass. That's all I'm doing. And here it goes, the sort of hard challenge of playing this song. It's not, if you learn the rhythm, the bass, that's it. Don't need anything else. What can I say? That's the beauty of this system. And the middle, as I said before, it can go either with the melody. In this case, I am kind of reinforcing almost like hits, right, to the melody. That's the times I play the middle. Or I can pick where and what I need to reinforce with that middle. I can play the whole thing, you know. I can do that, right? Or I can just pick particular places. This is me showing where the middle comes in, right? If I put everything together. That's it, my friends. You don't need much to make this song happen, because the melody is ready to that. It's just syncopated enough, so we just put the bass against that and put the middle in. I can also put the middle with the bottom layer, with the bass, and the melody just be by itself. So I can go... You see that the core of the thing is the top and the bottom. The middle just kind of like goes in here and there as much as I want and where I want it. And it can support the bass part or the top part. So you have options there. It's really easy to make this thing. As intricate and complex as melody is, for us, for this system that I teach, it's just easier. It just gets easier. So... only thing that we do extra now is the very little space between the end of the phrase and the next phrase to repeat the phrase, right? That little point there, you can bring the groove for a little bit because the melody is resting a little bit. It's long a little bit. Because if I stop, I can stop there if I want. It also works because I'll keep the bass going. But if I want to fill in the space a little bit, I just play the groove. And that's the magic of the system. Again, when the melody is active and busy and everything, go with the melody carries the groove. If the melody is resting or long, bring the groove. In this case, samba, I'm playing that kind of a groove, a samba groove. So I'll play a little bit just at that point. That's all the space I had to a little groove. You see, the only groove I'm playing is in that little space I have because the melody is busy enough that it just carries everything. And then that little sort of condensed part at the end of the first part, right? You gotta bring the chords early. That's also beautifully self-performed if you just play the melody correct with the bass. And again, as I was showing before, I can do as a hit or keep the groove going. As a groove, see, I kept the motion going, or I can do a more kind of hit beat, beauty, like the whole band kind of thing, bass, harmony, melody together. Right? Great, I can do that. Cool. So good so far so good. So comments, questions, be free to chime in. Jorge, how's going, brother? Thank you. Oh, you're late, but you're here, man. Thanks for being here. And check out Edmundo Cassis. Como é que você está, meu amigo? Tem muitos anos que a gente não se fala. Edmundo is a awesome piano player, keyboard player, piano player in Brazil. Killer musician, this guy over here. Check him out. Edmundo, my friend, que bom te ver. Espero que a gente se encontre aí no Brasil a próxima vez que eu for, tá bom? Saudade de você, vamos tomar um café. Obrigado por você estar aqui. Cool, so the bridge. Let's go to the bridge. The bridge, again, it's one of those cases where you don't have a lot of space to do much because, again, the melody is even busier on the bridge, of course. I have all the line of 60 notes and stuff. So if you get to play the top against the bottom and really negotiate that well, there's nothing more you can do. There's a few tricks I'm going to teach you, but the core of the thing is just the melody and the bass, you know? So and then just a sequence, whole step down. That's it, right? And my guitar is getting out of tune because of the beautiful but dry Colorado weather. Cool. So if you keep the bass and the melody, I showed that before. So what can we do as far as chords or middle layer that you can use here? Not much, but you can do something. So one thing that I do personally is to make sure I have a little bit of a chord spice in there in the beginning, the very downbeat. Right? On this case, melody against the bass, I'm using the middle here, just these two notes to kind of fill up the C minor 7, right? So I go, always make sure the downbeat has a chord. Here you have, right, the F7 chord here. You can do sus and third here if you want to facilitate, and then the melody becomes the third there, or it can go if I put the 7 chord on that downbeat, I have to change my shape here, so that I have to play the melody here instead of here, you know? So whatever works better for you here, or sorry, here. And you do that here. So C minor, F7 here. Here, what I usually do, I do put that top note on, like on top of the melody, like this D, so I can get the B flat major chord there. But you already sort of like deceive the listener of like following the descending melody. Even if you put that note on top, it won't be much of a distraction, you know? See, the ear won't see that as a new note of the melody. It's gonna see it like as a top note there on the chord, but the melody is being driven descending. So you're gonna follow that movement anyways. And then the same thing. Right? What else can you do there? You can play a second time, like a beat, like a second measure. Actually, a second beat. Sorry. Here you don't do much because it's just a melody, which is the third, and the bass. So nothing you can do. But on the first bar, you can play on both quarter notes, like. Top, and then a sequence, whole step down. See, play on both quarter notes. And then here, another hit, boom, right? A half diminished, then A7, sharp 11. So if you play that a little bit quicker, so 1 and 2, right? Cool. So I am not playing much again, as I said. I'm playing the melody and I'm playing the bass and I'm playing those chords on that particular place. That is enough information to get this bridge out. Right? So there's not much you can do. But here's a trick, not a kung fu, for you. If you accent the melody in a certain way, it helps to dance, helps to groove. And when you have the 16 note grid type of thing I talk about all the time, if you accent the second 16, so if you have a bar of 2/4, you have 8 16 notes, right? Right? If this is the beginning of it, if you accent the second one, if you accent that one, good. You move the thing, you groove a little more. Right? Man, that accent makes a lot of difference there in the context, right? You see how I finally kind of got a little bit of a swagger, right, into this groove. That's accenting there on a really kind of hard spot to play this really long melody, descending melody in the groove. Not a lot of space to play chords, but still here it is, right? And then you go back to then the coda, right? You have this so B flat major, A7, A flat major, G, right? So you just have to put the note there. Same principle with the middle support of the melody with the bass. This is the version more kind of groovy, and then I'm gonna give you a more kind of hit at the end when everybody's playing together, top, middle, bass. You can do that too, or the whole thing as a hit. 1 and 2. Right? So that's the deal of navigating these changes. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, more comments here. Que é isso, meu amigo. Vamos se encontrar sim. We're gonna meet for coffee. Vamos tomar café no Brasil. Hello, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Miles. Can you give an advice for guitar to start playing some in bossa nova, please? Yes, you should talk to me, and I will definitely help you to start playing samba and bossa nova. You can find a lot of my videos online. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can type Gabriel Santiago Samba or Gabriel Santiago Bossa Nova. There's plenty of material to get you started online for free that I have on my YouTube channel and everywhere on Facebook and all that. So you can start with that. If you want to have a call with me and have me look at your stuff that you're playing and give you some hints, you're welcome to book a call with me at BrazilianGuitarTalk.com, and then we can talk a little bit more about your playing. So make sure to reach out. What else we got here? Lower the melody a tone in part B, like the girl from Ipanema. Lower the melody a tone in part B. What do you mean by like the girl from Ipanema? Let me know what you mean by that. Let me get more stuff here. Hey Ken, how's it going, brother? Thank you for being here. Send you appreciate gratitude. Send you my appreciating gratitude back to you, my friend. Thanks so much for being here. Fala, seu Pedro, mandando um alô aí para o seu filho Cacau Assunção. Um abraço, Cacau. Bom que você está aqui com a gente. Um abraço, Pedro. All right, let's get going. So this is the general idea on what you do with this tune, with this Sambafying thing, the thing that I teach. Right, that's what you have. Let's move a little bit now to the harmony, because there's a bunch of little tricks that I personally do that I'm happy to share with you. So the first thing that I do here with this voices, I try to get them kind of here, right? I play the B flat with the flat 5. So the second time with the phrase, then I actually do play E flat major instead of just A. I just play and then go to A flat again. Then right, I can do that. There's a substitute harmony here, or just G. I think I do G a lot. Then you got the bridge. Do all that. When we come back from the bridge, I usually do a thing that Mr. Jobim did himself. Jobim does. It's awesome. He did that many times. So instead of going right, so he does he changes the melody, right? A minor. So instead of going to A flat 7, he goes to E flat minor, and then hit the A flat 7. But the change in the melody gives this like really cool kind of breath of new air in there, you know. And then it keeps changing the melody, and a cool change happens here. Instead of A minor, he gives us an A7, A7, D7, and then he goes, then he keeps going. Awesome, I do that a lot. And I do sometimes either the E flat minor, A7, or or just a flat 7 sus. That would be, I do sus and 7, which is cool too. Just a little tiny variation of the master. And then I do a little thing at the end as well. Instead of doing that sequence, I put the subdominant sharp 1, like the altered subdominant, the 4 chord sharp 1, half diminish. So C sharp half diminish, C minor 6. And before I go to the very coda, I even throw a B altered in there, dominant there. You know, in this case 7 sharp 9, flat 13. So the whole thing would be the way that traditionally the song goes. Right? Then the version I usually do. So yeah, I just create a little alternate thing. Then hit the B flat major. Another thing I do here in that same spot is there's another light variation. I do get to the C major as planned in the song. And then here, instead of going to F7 and then go here, I put 2 chords. I put F7 and then E7 altered. You know, this similar 7 sharp 9 flat 13. So it will sound like and then go in. So I'm gonna play 3 versions now. The 3 versions I play: the original traditional one, the one with the altered subdominant path, and then the one with the sus and altered E7. So sound number 1. Then first change 1 and that's another one. And then the second variation, the third performance 1 and so few tricks in there for that ending of one note samba. That's a cool thing. You can, you know, obviously always do some kind of pedal whenever you can. I do that a lot, you know. Like a G pedal here, nice, right? In D minor, G7, C major, F7, you can just put a G pedal in there, you know. And then go on, right? So you can do that too. There is a lot of things you can do. You can also, maybe in the solo, sometimes I do that. I kind of get out of the chromatic descending progression that originally gives that, you know, the character to the song. Right, that sort of substitute dominant type of progression. Sometimes I just go for the regular secondary dominant thing, just doing the 5th jumps, just for the sake of a little more color. So sometimes I do this, especially when I'm kind of going for the solo. In the head, the theme, I keep the original visual being framework, but when I'm soloing, sometimes I get a little more free, because sometimes playing those sub 5 chords, you kind of change a little bit, you know, you having to go to those chords. Sometimes if I get to the secondary dominants, I have more possibilities as far as, you know, sounds I can play. I can alter those and do different things. So sometimes I do, you know, do my E flat measure there, but you see I'm doing I can do that to get a little bit more free with the possibilities there. Another one I do is playing the not the one chord, the first chord, which is a 3 chord, right? B minor 7. Sometimes I do like a G over B instead of just B minor, like as a 3. Sometimes I do as an inversion of G, which is cool, a little more Brazilian flavor. And since I am at that place, then I'm free to like, do my Tony Morta kind of sound there, which is pretty cool. It gives a little more of a spice if you want, right? So I can go, especially on the solo, I can be a little more free, have more room to do stuff. So you see, you have a little bit of that sound. So kind of go from there. The bridge also gives you a lot of pedal possibilities, right? Right, so you can do a dominant pedal there. F sus, F7, B flat over F, A flat sus, A flat 7, A flat over E flat, right? E flat sus, E flat 7, A flat over E flat, the classic thing. So all those things you can do there. So that's really cool. Yeah, any questions you guys have about that? I think Jorge is talking about the sequence in the melody part, the second part of the song. Yes. Same idea of composition. So, okay, Jorge, I think I know what you're talking about. It's a sequence. Yes. So if you go and search and see, The Girl from Ipanema is a similar procedure where it's a sequence. Yes, so you have this particular progression with particular melody, and that gets moved around. If that's what you meant, I think yes. In this case, on a one note samba, we're going down, right? Right? The Girl from Ipanema goes up, right? In a similar fashion. You have right? So kind of move a little bit in a ascending fashion. But yeah, the idea of having a particular fragment with melody and harmony and kind of moved around, this is called the sequence, right? So that's why Jobim did that as well. So absolutely. Angel, thank you, brother, for being here. You tune your 7th string in B, all the guitarists tuning C. Can you explain? Absolutely. The reason I tune in B is because I don't really come from a traditional 7th string tradition. Traditional tradition is a horrible English right there. I don't really come from a traditional samba and choro tradition where this instrument is used a lot in conjunction with another guitar, the 6-string guitar, and the tunes that they play are very diatonic in terms of a very similar key: C major, D major, G major. It is easier to have the 7th string tuned in C to play, to play all those lines and counterpoints. We have all this line. It's easy in those keys to play just like that with the C tune, because you're playing a lot of C majors, D majors, G majors keys. So that tradition honors that particular tuning. The way I approach the instrument is mostly trying to get an extension of the instrument as a lower register, so I can get closer to a piano, kind of lower string, so I get more over that, and that gives me a little bit of a expanded voicings here on the instrument. That's why That's where I come from as far as using N B. I do have another instrument here that needs a little bit of love. It's an 8-string guitar. That one has an even lower tuning. It has an extra lower F sharp, which, I mean, it falls. The reason I use it and I have it is because I can keep expanding the register in the low section there. That's why I'm using B. If you are a jazz cat and plays more the arch top 7-string thing, usually those folks tune in A, because it's easier to play the jazz harmony with an A. Because if I'm playing this tune in A, let's say a chord like a D minor 9, I have the 5th, and the octave down will be right here. So D, will be here instead of here in B. If you tune in A, that chord is right here. So it's easy. It comes from a very kind of jazz harmony perspective, you know. I go for a more expanded type of getting access to a lower register, so I just keep the same relationship of 4th, so that chord will be here for me. And if you are traditional Samba, traditional Choro, you tune in C, because it's easy to play on those keys and do the baixarias, right? The melodic counter melody stuff that the 7-string plays so well in that language in Brazil. So that's the explanation. Thank you for asking. Jerry, how's it going, Jerry? Will you show us the awesome solo? Of course I will. You know it's coming, right? Of course it's gonna be. You leave the best to the end, I guess, right? So wait on, because it's coming. Now let's move on to a little bit of the solo. You mean solo section, but I don't know if you mean solo guitar part or the actual improvising solo part. Both are equally cool for me. I like both. So I don't know which one you're talking about. Is the improvisation part or the solo guitar part? But here's the solo improvisation melodic part of our live stream. So as far as soloing, I have recorded a little bit of 2 choruses of me playing the accompaniment so I can solo. And then we're gonna see a lot of just me playing over the changes, but there is a lot of blues inflections that I'm gonna try to do, especially at the very ending. It's a really cool language to use there. I am going to try to make those sort of alternate changes I use when we come back from the bridge. I'm gonna be playing on the first chorus. I'm gonna play, so I'm gonna have to try to play over those. And then the ending next to the coda, I'm gonna play those 2 and 3 versions I showed before. The first part, the first chorus, I'm gonna try to make those. And the second time I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to play over those as well. There is a few pedals here and there that I'm gonna use, but I already showed them to you. I messed up early when I was recording this thing. So the second chorus, I was gonna try to do a pedal over the bridge, you know. But I should have gone to E flat, sus, and then do this. But I just messed up. I was thinking of D flat major, so I kind of made a pedal to D flat and then I corrected back. So if you hear a weird progression, I'm gonna try to remember that. So enough talk, let me actually play this thing and see if I'm not gonna suck at it. So here we are. Hopefully also my computer is not gonna break on me. Let's see. cool. My computer didn't break on me, so that was good. Yes, there was a few hiccups here and there, but I think I made kind of changes a little bit, right? Especially here on that part. I tried to do those. I correct my mistake on the bridge. There was one spot that I kind of played a lame thing, but you got an overall idea. What I did here is kind of what I just told you I was going to do. Right, you gotta be really in tune with the harmony and show the changes, right? So here, I can think the first chord, right? I don't play Dorian here at all. I play either, you know, Aeolian, the natural minor sound, or think of G major, which is the same thing. And then here, you kind of have to play that substitute dominant thing, like the Lydian dominant, as it's called. Right? I have to. I'm thinking of what's the name of that thing? Lydian dominant, or AKA F melodic minor here on this chord. You can play Dorian if you want here, and then here another Lydian dominant, or E flat melodic minor. That's what I play over that. And then here you have a classic 2/5 to C major. You can just kind of stay in C major if you want. I did alter that G a few times. I did a little augmented kind of sound here, kind of that sound, right? And then I arrive at C, and then here I kind of have to play the Lydian dominant here too, which is C melodic minor. So I can go C major, and then C minor melodic, and then over that part, the little quicker part, I kind of play a G blues there, you know, on top of that, you know. Let's see the sound of it. This kind of riffing, bluesy, kind of pentatonic thing. That's what I play there. And then on the bridge, the classic 2/5 to B flat, so I can play B flat major or C Dorian, F mixed Lydian, B flat, you know, Ionian, but I just think of B flat here. You know, or if I think separately in the chords, I'm altering the F, you know. Like an augmented sound or an altered sound, whatever it was that I played. Then I just kind of move that around as a sequence. Right? And then you have the little 2/5 here, you know, that you can address if you want. Either kind of like a G major. You gotta be careful if you play this chord though, because then you have to address the Lydian dominant. That's why sometimes those chords, they kind of chain you a little bit. That's why in that sometimes I do the jumps, you know, the because I have a little more freedom. Those sequences like Hermeto Pascoal Bebê, you know. They kind of chain you a little bit, you know. You have to address those all the time, and sometimes I want a little bit more free of that, so sometimes I do those jumps. But here, if you're doing the end of the bridge, I usually do D7 rather, because it's a G major sound. Actually, it's a 2/5 to minor, right? But it ends on G, so I can go and prepare the next G major kind of central, like tonal thing. But if you play that chord, you gotta address. Just be careful with that. And then the part that comes after the bridge with those changes, I definitely address them. Right, so I address those. Just story and whatever you want to do there. And then here I also address those changes. I even did the 9 here on the C sharp half diminished. Then C minor, I did play the melodic minor and hint a little bit of the outro scale here, but it was so quick that I don't have time to play that many things there. But I did address notes there, and then here just can kind of, or either kind of G major-ish, major, minor, pentatonic vibe here on the whole thing, or you can address individually, which means you're gonna play. You can play G minor here or B flat. Just a leading sound over this, and then A7, like A mixolydian, right? You can do that, and then play an A flat Lydian, and then finish on G. But sometimes I just kind of play a, like a bluesy, kind of bullshit there. It depends. So this is the regular framework, kind of basic of the solo section. That's how I would solo over there. There's more things you can do, but that can be a topic for another time. You gotta get going here. Now let me try to play the full kind of Sambafied solo guitar version of that, right? Return my guitar a little bit. Cool. Then I'll play that, and then I'll say bye to you guys for today. But again, if you want to chat about this stuff, if you want to have a little convo with me on Zoom, it's free. There's no charge for that. You can just contact me over Brazilian Guitar Talk and book a call with me. There's no charge. It's free. Of course, I do offer a program, the Brazilian Guitar Institute, and is a wonderful program. We can talk more about that if you want. But this call is not supposed to just kind of sell you on that. It's just a genuine conversation about Brazilian guitar, about the things that you're working on. I'm happy to look at your playing and give you my feedback and things that you should be working on to improve your playing. So feel free to book this call with me, BrazilianGuitarTalk.com. And if you're interested also, we can talk about getting you in my program and everything. It's a wonderful program that I'm sure it will be able to help you as well. But if you just want to call and chat and no strings attached, right? It's free. You can just book a call on Zoom. Do so by Brazilian Guitar Talk, right? So thank you so much for being here today with me. And let's hear what I can sum with this one note samba and see if I'm not going to make many mistakes. So thank you so much for being here. And I will say bye after that. So one note samba. All right, there was one Note Samba. We got a few quick questions here. Brad, hey, how's it going, man? I gotta look at your video. I didn't forget, I saw it. What string do you use and how often do you change them typically? These are Diodario Pro Arte composite ones. They have the weird G composite that I use. And I used to use a lot of Hanabach ones for this one, but I have been actually testing the actual Diodario ones. I think is 0.69 or 67 or something, or 59 I think. I gotta go back there and look, but it's a thicker Diodario. Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you for coming here. Meu amigo, obrigado. Obrigado por você ter vindo. Edmundo Cassis, check out this guy. Hey, Alex, thank you for being here. And I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you liked it. Leave some questions again if you want to chat, and no strings attached as far as joining my program. You can book a call with me, and then we can chat and talk about Brazilian guitar and the things you want to improve. No questions asked, free, just a regular friendly call. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for being with me here, and I see you on the next one. Bye. Have a great weekend.